Hi, honors students. History of Fashion is a great place to do your honors project. And I wanted to show you one that I'm using this semester, so it may be what you might choose to present. I ask that you get a book that's never been made into a movie. And so sometimes that's hard, but I always say go to the Goodwill or one of the bargain half-price books and look on the shelf, and you can find some great fun stories that are a fast read. But what we're looking at, not so much the storyline, but the costuming. When Harry Potter books were turned into movies, there's not that much explanation about what each of those characters wore. So the costume designers had to do a tremendous amount of research to come up with what Harry Potter and his friends are wearing in those movies. And so costume designers today are charged with that same research that they have to do when the words don't explain exactly what the character's wearing. So you're going to find a book, could be just a fun summer read, and you're going to come up with the three main characters and what one costume that they might wear. And so this is just an example. I've never heard of this book, nor have I read it. Venus in Furs. Looks like a historical or a historical romantic novel, kind of based in the 1780s. If I look at her costuming and the size of the bustle, we learned exactly what era that was from. So I'm looking at about the 1870s, and it also looks like it has some influence on today's steampunk. So this must have been a fun read, and the costuming was perfect for that time frame. Another honors project. Here we have Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Lots of interest in zombies out there. And we do have time to read now that we are at home more often. And Mr. Darcy, Miss Bennet, and Zombie 11. She created the costuming, and this was a fashion design student, so she had the ability to illustrate, and she did her costuming there. Your honors project has a written component and a presentation component. So online we are going to present in discussion, and students are actually going to comment and may even ask you some questions about the costuming that you chose. Again, when it's not made into a movie, you have no idea except the author's words. And this student took the author's words and created this beautiful costuming that seems to me to portray that time of Jane Austen, the garments from that time period. And we've all seen a zombie, so we know exactly what they're wearing this year. I have another project that was a Japanese story that was translated into English. And this student, as you can see, had tremendous illustration skills and created period perfect costuming for the English the English words from this book. I want everyone to know that they don't have to choose something that is of great antiquity, but it is a little bit easier to do the costuming. If we look at the 1980s, we've got lots of representation in our text, but we have much more information about those earlier periods because that's what we're concentrating on, so those might be easy for you. My first time that I used this project in this class was about 15 years ago, before Hunger Games became a movie. It was only in book form. And a student, when she did the costuming, and she was a merchandising student, so she used pictures out of magazines. The most amazing thing to me when I showed it to a class 5 years later, after Hunger Games 2 came out, we looked at these pictures the student had done, and they were almost identical to what the movie looked like. So it was fun because, yes, there were some cues in the book about what the different characters wore, but definitely her imagination led the same place as costume designers did in the real world. So I hope you enjoy doing a project like this for your honors project, and we will see you in discussion.